Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm trying to find myself so I can see your comments. Hi Belinda. Hi Stephanie. Yes, I found myself. Now I have to turn the comments on, if my iPad works. Hi Honora. Hi Suzanne. Hi Tracy, Diane. I think my image is a little bit, how do you say that? Crooked, like I'm turned. So I will try to adjust that. Hi Els. Hi Linda. Hi Ingrid. Sorry if I'm making you sick a little bit. I think this will work. Hi Lisanne. Lisanne. And I will turn my sound off. Hi Kimberly. Hi Rianne. Hi Angelique. Hi Cindy. So I think my comments are okay and I can see them. And I have some stuff on my desk, which a lot of you will probably recognize because they're dies from the new die set Home Jungle from Ilse and Charlene. Hi Jona. Hi Ilse. We're just showing the beautiful dies from your die set. There are some from some older die set. And since Els showed you last Friday a lot of things you can do in the travel journal that comes with the set, I thought I would show you something different that you can do with it. One of my favorite dies of the moment is the mason jar die from Esther. And I was shopping with my daughter last week. And we were in a store, and here in Holland they sell these very big vases with lots of green plants in it, and there's a cork on top of it, and it's kind of its own ecosystem. You don't have to water it. Because of the heat of the temperature in the glass jar. It gets humid, and the humid waters the plants again. So I hope you understand what I mean. It's like an ecosystem within a jar. So that's what I'm gonna, when I saw that in the store, I immediately thought Home Jungle. And then I thought, I can do that with the mason jar. So I'm gonna combine the mason jar and the Home Jungle set tonight. I hope it's gonna work because I haven't had the time to try it out. So if it doesn't work, well, it's gonna work. We'll make it work. Let's go. So because of the lot of plants, I die cut these this afternoon, and I die cutted two mason jar, how do you call it, shapes, because in the middle there's gonna be this acetate sheet on which we're gonna stuck on both sides these little plants. So you can look at it both sides and see the exact, well, about the exact same image. I hope it's gonna work. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna put this aside because I'm not gonna start with this one yet. I'm gonna put these a little bit off screen. I'm gonna put a paper. So first of all, I'm gonna color some of the die cuts I did this afternoon because I want to let them air dry because of the small parts. If I dry them with a heat gun, I'll probably burn my fingers. So I'm gonna color them first so they can dry while I put the mason jar together. Let me see, get some water. That's a bit much. I'm gonna put these a little bit aside because they're in the comments on my iPad screen, so I can't read your comments anymore. And I want to see if you have any questions, of course. Hi Anna! Let me see. So I'm just gonna put some leaves on my paper, and I'm gonna use different materials. I'm gonna use watercolor, spray stain, oxide spray, I must say. Put the spray stain back in the cupboard. And I'm gonna use some Distress Oxide inks. And since the plants in the pot I saw were green, I'm gonna use some brown and green colors because the leaves make it very busy already, so I don't want to make it too colorful. And my watercolors underneath my... So I'm gonna put this up and put this down. I hope I'm in screen. I have a really large desk, but it's completely full. I think most of you have the same problem. So I'm just gonna water some of the dyes. I used 200 GSM watercolor paper. And because I want to put it on the acetate, I will have to color the back as well. And before I forget, I may announce the winner of the $50 gift certificate. That is Marianne Sullivan. Hope you can read it. So Marianne Sullivan, congratulations. And if you want to make a chance to the prize, you have to like, comment and share the live. But I think most of you know that drill by now. Perhaps, who knows, you will win this time. Okay, so I have different colors of green. And I'm just gonna pick a light one. I can always go darker. In the meantime, I'm looking at my screen if I miss any questions. And oh, that one is still wet. I just bought a new watercolor on Saturday, and I put it in my box. As usual, my fingers are all over it again. But who cares, right? That's part of crafting, at least in my case. So I'm just watercoloring the base. Different color, green. And I see there's a big delay Hi Josette. Hi Kathleen. Why did I water my paper? Well, because it flows more, and I like that kind of watercolor. You don't have to do that. It's just your way. I will show you the difference with one which I don't have done. Let me see. I will get one that is dry. This one's dry. This one is wet. I will show you the difference. Am I still in screen? Yes, I am. Okay, so this one is wet, just a little bit. And if you put a color on it, you will see it runs smoothly. And there are parts that are darker and lighter, and the paint is very translucent. So it's lighter of color. And now I will do the same on this leaf. And I have a brush which holds very much water. So if I used a brush, I would just that didn't hold that much water, I would just constantly go back and forth to pick up the paint. And it's harder to control the paint. Well, not control. I think this is more natural. You can blend colors more easily. And if it gets too wet, you can always dry it a little bit. I don't know, thanks Jennifer. I don't know if the shades of green will combine together in the end, but we will find out soon enough. Okay, so I'm gonna turn them around. And I think I will end up drawing them. Normally you don't have to color the back, but since I'm using acetate, so you can see the back of the dies as well, I'm coloring the back as well. And while I'm doing this, I'm thinking that's not very smart of me. I probably should have dried the front side first. But hey, practice makes perfect, right? So most of you, have you already bought the new Home Jungle set? Yeah, this is a wet wipe. Even wet wipes will suck up the water that's on top of it, so it doesn't really matter if you use a wet wipe or a dry wipe. And I have these dry wipes, which it's kitchen paper, and I don't want that pattern on my flowers, so I just use a baby wipe. Exactly, Yona. What's perfect? And you know, sometimes I have that, well, quite a bit actually. When you make a page and you don't like it, you just put it aside, and a few months or a few weeks later, when you look at it again, sometimes you really like that page. And I put this watercolor paper underneath it. The color on top of it, when it dries, I can use that paper again for some other project. Yeah, I really, really love this set. I think it's so cute with the little pots and plants. I love plants because you can always use them. Summertime, wintertime. I think this one's too big. So. Next round. And I'm using all kinds of green. And I will mix them up a little bit with brown in a bit. Because my plants have brown leaves on them. I think I love this set so much because the plants in real life, they don't stay to live with me. They always die. And I love that it's so cute, but it's a little bit hard to watercolor. What you could also do, if you're not a big fan of watercoloring, or have beautiful paper, just don't like coloring, you can die cut them out of the paper that Ilse and Charlene designed, or from Esther's book, and use that, because they are printed on both sides, so you don't have to do the back like I'm doing right now. And you get the same idea, just with patterns. You can also always use just green paper, but I love to watercolor. Makes me a little bit zen. Oh, that was a really green one. Don't think I like that in here. Yes, I love to watercolor. And especially this kind. I don't like to make landscapes and stuff like that, because I just don't have the patience and it never turns out the way I want it to. And normal leaves have different types of shades, so these ones as well. That's good enough. Yeah, well, even cacti die with me. And I get them to bloom. So I'm not very good with real life plants, so I'm very happy with the home jungle set. And I can make my own version of the eco system. So I forgot one here. A bit of green here. Yes, Octavia, that's what I mean. Green and beautiful one day, and the next day it's brown and the leaves are falling off. Or Brooke, indeed, I overwater them. Most of the time it's just drying out, and then it's dying, and then I overwater them and it's full of fungus, so I have to throw the plant away. So I have, I think I have 2 real life plants in my house, no 3, which are vetplanten. I don't know what it is in English. Else, perhaps you know, or somebody else. So those will live a little bit longer with me. So these are the ones I watercolored, but probably that isn't enough, so we're gonna spray some. Close this a bit. shake it. Succulent plant. Thanks. I'm told you it's not okay to shake these like this, but ja, precies Ingrid. Even vetplantjes dies. Okay. Normally I would spray a lot higher, or I would spray in a spray box, but since you don't see what I'm doing doing it a bit different this time, because I don't want the spray on my mat, on my craft mat. And we use a little bit water to make them shine. I love oxide inks. And there's a little bit much on there, so I'm just gonna dab a bit off. And now we dry them again. And since you want to know which colors I used bundled sage and shabby shutters. And my hands are green again. When I saw Charlene busy last week painting and putting on modeling paste, same with Ilse, they always work so clean. I always love that, because my desk is always like messy and full of paint and stuff. So that's this side. Now we turn them around. That one's already done. And we go for round 2. You know, that's what I love about these lives. To hear from you that your desk is messy as well. So I'm not just the only one. Well, as somebody once said, it's not mess, it's ideas. So I will hang on to that. Belinda, have a fun time at work. That's dry enough. And now for another round, I think we go for a little bit of brownish colors, or just a little bit more brown. I have gone through my stash. That doesn't fit two on top of each other. And I have found peeled paint and rustic wilderness. So I'm going to use those. And I'm going to use a little bit of fried burlap on top of that. That's one of my favorite colors. Because it looks brown, but it is kind of a greenish brown. Especially when you put water on top of it. I'm going to make that the big one as well, green as well. Like that. And I don't mind, because of the water color is not thick, hasn't have the same thickness on every part of the leaves as well. I don't mind if the colors aren't as bright everywhere. Turn them around. And of course, if you don't have watercolor or distress oxide or sprays, put these aside, because you can use coffee if you want brown leaves. Perhaps fitting for me, because most of my plants are this. Or tea. You have those colored tea with raspberry and stuff. You can use that as well. You can use brush pens, or just use whatever you have. And if you don't have that much shades of green, just mix them, or just give the leaves a different color. Waarschijnlijk wel, ja, Wilhelmina. Daarom gaan we planten dood. Let me see. This one. Are they all colored? Yep. Check. Okay. Well, this one's a bit strange color right now because I mixed it. And now we're going to use a little bit of fried burlap. To give them a little bit darker or brownish accents. Because I don't want them to look so neat or colored, because I'm using so many different leaves. It will be fun. And of course it's distress oxide, so we have to wet it a little bit, right? I love those speckles on the ink that you get from the water drops on top of the and of course on the back. And let's throw in the rest I did with oxide spray as well. Which one? Nope, this watercolor, this oxide spray. Hi Ruli. No, I'm making, yes, I'm coloring leaves. But I'm making a mason jar, like with an ecosystem in it, so that's why I'm coloring the leaves. And we need a lot of leaves. We're almost done watercoloring. So, that's done. I'm cleaning my fingers because I want to use the white Home Jungle logo. And I don't want it to get green if I pick it up. So, well, let's put those together, and let's throw in the cork ones, and let's put the rest aside for a bit. Okay, now that one I'm going to use, because when you have a pot like this, the plants don't just grow in thin air, they grow out of a small part of soil. So what I did, I cut these two out, then I cut 2 parts of cardstock, just white, no, not just cardstock, watercolor cardstock, so they would fit in here as well. And since there's going to be acetate in the middle, I want to make sure that both sides of the soil are even, but I don't want it in a straight line, so I'm gonna measure them up like this, and then I'm just gonna tear them together so the soil will be about the same size. And I'm just gonna watercolor these quickly with brown. So this is gonna be my soil, and I used way too much water. I love this brush, but when you want to use just a little bit of water, sometimes it's not that convenient, not that handy. I love this way of watercoloring because you don't have to do it within the lines or anything, it's just throwing the paint on the paper. Even someone who says they can't watercolor can do this. It's not that easy. And to make sure I don't get a white line because of the acetate, I'm gonna color the top edge of the paper as well, so I don't see any white through the acetate. Yeah, Lisanne, no control. In normal life I'm a bit of a control freak, just a little bit. But in my crafting I like it messy, and it doesn't have to be that structured. my soil is getting green. And I'm gonna make it in some places a little bit darker. Nope, that's the wrong color. That's the one I was... looking for. Yes, Jessica, no control is good, especially when crafting. So, that was the last watercoloring. I'm gonna clean my fingers a bit, dry this. Hi Candace. And I said I didn't want any whites to show through, so no white is allowed in the soil. Well, Marika, normally I don't color this fast, but because I just have a limited amount of time, doing it a little bit quicker than I normally would, because otherwise I'm afraid I won't get the jar done in time, because placing and gluing the leaves down will take me some time as well, because I'm working on acetate and I don't want the glue to be showing on the other side of the acetate. So okay, that's hot. We're done watercoloring, or just coloring for that matter. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Yes, I colored both sides. That's because I'm working on acetate, and I'm gonna show you why. Well, this is the mason jar, and I die cut it out of the paper of Ilse and Charlene. And this is my piece of acetate I'll be working on. And I thought a long time, because normally what I normally do is just put a paper on the back of this and put stuff on there, and then maybe put the acetate and then this part on top of it. But since I wanted it to really look like a glass jar, I am going to use this as middle. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just going to show you. So I just put this on here, and then I'm gonna glue this down. I hope I colored the wrong size of the paper, but who cares? I colored the lines exactly right, so that's okay. And I'm leaving this part underneath it so I can see where I'm working on in the mason jar. Femke, let me see, sorry, I'm with my arm in frame. Just missed a lot of comments. Wrong sides, yes, I called it the wrong sides, but who cares? We're gonna make it work. And I will show you how, because of this side I colored as well, it doesn't matter that much. What's most important is that you don't see white on the back side when you flip the page around. This is white now. So now I'm going to put this on top of it. And if you see little specks of white, that doesn't matter. You can always add a little bit of coloring in the end. This is my, you see, so when I put this on top, it's not stuck yet, but you see what I mean? So that's how I'm gonna layer all these leaves. And I'm gonna start a little bit higher. Actually, I like it that it's not the same. And now I'm thinking, should I glue the frame down already so that the plants stick out of the jar? Or should I put the plants first, that you get this idea? Thank you, Marike. I think I like it better when they hanging out of it. Yeah, we go with that. So let me see what kind of I'm gonna glue this down. That's not smart what I did. I used way too much glue because I don't want the glue to show on the other side. And normally I'm using just PVA glue, and for this I'm using a little bit of Glossy Accents because Glossy Accents dries up clear. Sorry, I think I'm out of frame. We'll go back in. No, I was. Sorry, guys. I have to glue this one down first, and I'm gonna use some tape for it, so I know it will stay on its place. And my tape was running low, so I bought me some new tape. Yep, here's the one. If I get it out of the plastic. So we are going to glue this down. Yes, I could, but I tried that part. That's why I chose to use just one acetate sheet instead of two. Push it down a bit. And I'll take it off. And now is the most exciting part. Make sure it's right on there and it doesn't comes out of the jar. This is always the most tricky part for me. And as you see, I always struggling with this. I should have left the tape better on, more on it. I think now I'm right. Yes, I am, and that part I will cut off later. Now we are doing the same on this side. And I love the little cabinet that it's in the home jungle set, but it was too big to use in the jar, at least for what I wanted to do with it this time. So I will probably make one with the cabinet one time, but not just for this. It's hard to get acetate on without jumps. Yeah, right. And I always have problems to keep the acetate clean of dust. The minute I get it out of the packaging, it's like it screams to all the dust and little bits of paper on my desk. Come, come, stick on me. Okay, this time I'm gonna try to do it smarter. Didn't do a great job on that one, so I'm gonna put the tape back on here. Ha! I think it actually worked. Now to get the rest of the tape off without shifting it. Like that. And now this part. Where are tweezers? Like this. It actually worked. Gonna throw these aside. Now we are going to put the plants in. Where's the one I just had some glue on? Where did I leave that one? Where did it go? Did it? Yeah, here it is. I mean, it's a plant, right? It can't walk. Just a few dots. And I'm actually not putting it all the way down because of the smaller plants that will go here. So it looks more full. And this way we are creating our own home jungle. This way I like a home jungle because I don't have to water it. And I'm on purposely not gluing down all leaves so that they can move around a bit. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. The only bad side of this is that it's on acetate, and glue on acetate always shifts. So I have to be careful. Okay, now I will turn it around. And you see on the back side, and I will glue some leaves over here as well. In about the same place, sorry, as I did the other ones. So you don't see the glue as much, and it looks actually fuller. Do I like this one? Yes, I do. Wrong glue. And my plants are sliding across the acetate. Stay down there. No, you can't kill these. This will make a nice card as well. So, stay put. And I am cutting the, where's my scissors? I'm cutting these off so that it looks more like if they're that they're growing from the soil instead of just sticking on their stems. Thank you, Els. Hope they stay in place. Like that. I like that one there, so. Because otherwise it would be really green. And I like green, but you can also have an overkill of green. I have absolutely no idea how long I'm busy already. But if it takes too long, just let me know. I saw something. Like this. Now we turn it around again to see if what it needs on this side. That's way too much glue. Almost done with the plants, and then we get to the finishing touch. Just the last couple of leaves. And then we're done with the leaves. I worried this afternoon that I didn't have enough leaves. I have plenty left. Because half of them is even haven't been painted yet. And my last leaf, no, that one's already there. No, I'm gonna use a brown one. Just cut this off. Maybe I put some more on there later, but for now, this will have to do. So, get the leaves out of the way. And make some room for the top of the jar. And I was wondering if I liked it better in black or in white. Black. Yes. This is a die that it's in the home jungle set as well. And it's this one. When you cut it out of the paper, it just cuts out the letters. So you can use it in whatever you want to, just to get the letters out of the paper. Wrong glue. Well, there's coming something on the top of the jar as well, but first we have to glue down the lid. I'm making it myself very hard. Like this. This, by the way, is from cork. And the downside on cork, I love cork. The downside on cork is when you glue it, it just expands a little bit. So it gets a little bit bigger than when you cut out the die from paper. But that doesn't matter, since I am using the same on the back side. Because the real ecosystems that brought me to this idea have cork lids as well, so that's why I decided to do it this way. Why doesn't this fit? Like this. Let me see. And then somebody just mentioned that it would be nice to hang a plant from there as well. Well, I thought this is my own home jungle, so it would be nice if we put a sign on there that says home jungle. This is one side. And I have to make sure, because this one's going on the back side, that the letters will fit this one as well. Yes, they will. Okay, now we're gonna glue it down. Don't put glue on there, because that's will see through. And now we turn it around. And on the paper, on this below the lid, there's a piece of orange. That's why I chose this orange color, because spice it up a little bit color wise, because this edge is green as well, would be too much green. Why doesn't that fit? Well, that's as good as I'm gonna get. And a lot of the times there's a little twine. Do I like that? I don't know. I'm gonna add a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit. I don't know if I like this, so if I'm gonna put it on, that's why I'm just doing this. Maybe I'll change the color of the twine, replace it with ribbon or something. 2 times is more than enough. I think I'm gonna replace it with some other ribbon, but for now this will have to do. So this is my project for tonight. And I hope let's see if I missed some comments. I will watch the comments back and reply if there are any questions in the comments. This is my mason jar home jungle, my own little jungle, which doesn't die. I hope you like it. Yeah, Brooke, I think I will use black indeed, because this one doesn't show up. I hope you like it. Tomorrow I will post a picture of the end result. Perhaps I will put on some splatters as well, but this was it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope I inspired you for some of your own project with the home jungle set. Thanks. Bye.